You've read the title. We we've done it before, but we're pulling another Halloween trick on you. We're reliving the just guttural experience that is Hubie Halloween, the 2020 Adam Sandler instant classic. This is Cocktails and Classics. If you haven't listened to us before, I'm Dylan. With me are Ben and Zach. Zach, I know you had talked about a spin-off podcast not too long ago. Is this it? Is this like the start?
This is the pilot. So last year we did Hubie Halloween for real. This year this is the pilot for my spin-off series where we watch Hubie Halloween every week and give a review and a rating on it.
Every
so
week?
We'll see how it goes.
I signed up for every Halloween. I don't know about every week.
I didn't want to
people
sign up
want
for every
more.
Halloween, but I'm here.
Zach's been doing it every week. He's like, I just got a head start. I wanted to see how it worked.
Yeah, I actually have like
workshopped
26,
Zach's been doing it 3 or
27
4
episodes,
times a
so.
week.
Well, you gotta know, you gotta know more than the audience, that way they feel like they're getting something out of this.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got at least 2 seasons of Hubie Halloween podcast spinoff queued up. I just want to make sure that there's appetite. That it's not going to be like too much appetite, I don't want to go to like 3 days a week. That would kill me.
I thought of a title for you for it.
Okay.
Is it Hubie Halloween?
It's not Hubie Halloween. It's
Okay. I was curious to know if you were just gonna bite at low hanging fruit. So I'm glad you're not.
No. It's Simpin for Sandler.
Okay. Well, that's not quite as focused. We're still workshopping things,
Yeah,
but we're thinking Hubert Schubert show.
I was gonna say it sounds like Dylan, you're going way too hard into the full Sandler verse. Zach doesn't want that.
I thought that's what Zach wanted to
Well,
do.
no, I do want that, but that's going to be a separate podcast as well, where we dive into the Sandler verse and really the lore that has penetrated not only pop culture, but culture in general.
Penetrated. I feel like these are like the mom's t-shirts at this point.
We really dove in to culture.
Yeah. Here at Muff's Diving School.
Kayaks
Had a big
get us
old
wet.
boner in math class.
Oh, this episode's
Lord.
going to be a boner.
The idea to do this episode was a huge boner.
This is our second annual viewing of Hubie Halloween. Just on a whim, on an idea, we thought, why not watch this terrible movie every year, and make an event out of it. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you, Zach.
You're just
Look.
wrong.
Like we said, we give you the whole month's worth of Halloween treats. And I mean, I guess for you the listener, it's a treat. You get to hear us talk about it. For us as the ones who had to view Hubie Halloween and will have to view it every year.
We'll get to. Go ahead.
It's the real trick. It's the trick, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing himself to watch Hubie Halloween every year.
Is that my issue?
Well, if you don't know about Hubie Halloween, it's Netflix's Halloween release of last year, starring Adam Sandler, Kevin James, Julie Bowen, Ray Liotta, Steve Buscemi, Rob Schneider, Maya Rudolph, Tim Meadows, George Wallace, Keenan Thompson, Shaquille O'Neal, Ben Stiller, Noah Schnapp. Directed by Steve Brill. Wow. IMDb. It's pretty gracious, actually. Currently sits at a 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb.
That's weak.
That's weak?
That's weak.
For Zach, yeah,
Wow.
that's low. Way low. That is poor sauce.
It's at a 2.3 out of 5 on Letterboxd. So
That's a little bit more accurate, I think.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
weaker.
Little harsher critics over there on Letterboxd.
It's a bunch of Sandman simps on IMDb.
No.
Just throwing
Letterboxd is
tens
full
out
of
there.
It's all Zach's Burners accounts.
I get a feeling if you looked at Letterboxd average ratings for any Happy Madison production, it would be pretty low. because they're haters.
Is that, yeah, I was going to say, is that because of Letterboxd or because of the Sandler
No,
movies?
they're either haters or they're not intelligent enough to understand.
I will say one of my friends on Letterboxd gave it a 5 out of 5, a modern seasonal classic, and then re-rated it later and said, easy new addition to my yearly Halloween watches. I loved it.
Yes.
So they also viewed it twice and gave it a 4 and a 5 out of 5.
It only gets better.
It ages like a fine wine.
Yeah.
Left
Fine
out in
wine.
a hot sun.
Yeah. Ages like a fine wine where they left the bottle standing straight up so the cork could just kind of rot into the wine.
So going in
Have you seen this before,
semi-blind.
Dylan?
I have seen this before. Everyone has, thankfully. This year we decided to watch it together. I don't think we watched it together last year, right?
We did not.
No.
No. I mean, maybe we would have had a little higher ratings if we watched it all together last year. But
I think so. Although I don't know, because by the time I watched it last year, would Zach have been able to quote the movie line by line as they're talking?
Most of it, yeah. Not as much as I did this time,
don't know.
but I would have got a lot.
Jesus.
But yeah, it was.
This man
and
knows Hubie Halloween better than 90% of y'all out there.
I will say, so I grew up next to one of my friends, and his older sister really loved Pirates of the Caribbean and like could quote all of the Pirates of the Caribbean lines, or Hannah can quote like all of the Harry Potter films. Is this that for you, Zach? Like you just have it on repeat constantly, and you can just like quote the whole movie to me?
Yeah, I mean, as much as we joke, this is such a feel-good film. You can throw it on whenever. It doesn't even have to just be Halloween. It's easy to get into. There's so much to enjoy. Like, yeah, you can find yourself just watching it for the however many time.
How many times have you watched this movie sober?
Sober? Oh, I've watched this movie sober. I don't know if I've ever watched this movie not sober,
9
actually.
of the 10 times.
I've seen the movie 9 times. I can't think of a time I watched it not sober.
My God.
This was my 9th viewing just now.
Jesus.
So 10's gonna be magical.
Yeah. I wrote down. So I was gonna say I didn't listen back to the reviews, so I don't know what I rated it last year. Ben doesn't know what he's rated it last year yet, but I listened back to the episode and took some notes on a few things that stood out to me, and that was one of the things. Was last year you were at 5.5 complete watches.
Yep.
And so now you're at 9.
Yeah, I finished out the half. I finished out the half a week ago, and then I did one Monday, one Tuesday, and then we just watched it again.
Is this like your Hocus Pocus? Your
It's really a generation's Hocus Pocus.
I don't think so. I'm gonna veto that right now and say this should be nobody's Hocus Pocus.
When I say this, I don't want to like shit on people's nostalgia or let people believe that Hocus Pocus isn't like a key part of, our generation's childhood. But Hubie Halloween is better than Hocus Pocus. It's just a better movie.
So you're just calling everyone out like that right now.
It surpassed Hocus Pocus. It surpassed Halloween Town.
Look, guys, we'll go ahead and give you some social medias and some email addresses that you can send Zach your hot takes about his hot take on Hocus Pocus v. Hubie Halloween. Maybe we'll put a poll. Maybe we'll put a poll on the Spotify episode, right?
Yeah.
Wait, we can.
We can be rated now on Spotify, too. The kids showed me that.
Our cocktail this week, which we just glanced right over and all.
Oh, man. Jesus. I forgot.
We got so much good content to get into.
We do have a lot of good content to get into. So let's just go to the cocktail real quick. It's a cafe con leche flip. Inspired by the coffee thermos and the eggs that Adam Sandler's character Hubie catches shakes up, then drinks the free breakfast Rocky Balboa style and immediately pukes.
Balboa
Projectile
vomit. And then it's just glanced over. That's like the first few minutes of the movie.
That's it.
Inspired by that, we decided to do a cocktail. The Cafe Con Leche flip got the recipe from the Educated Barfly over on YouTube. It's 1 ounce of coffee liqueur, 1 ounce of blackstrap rum, 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup, a 1/2 ounce of heavy cream, and 1 egg yolk. Shake that up. You'll gotta do the dry shake, and then the ice cube, and then you grate some nutmeg over that. It's pretty good. It's like a frothy. I like this better than the oat. Not what was I gonna say? Oat milk.
The eggnog.
I like this better than eggnog. Yeah, it's got a same vibe to me.
Yeah, it had kind of to me a very similar like feel to eggnog, but I liked it. It didn't feel like a Halloween drink to me. It felt very Christmassy. It could just be the nutmeg, just kind of the little bit of nutmeg on the top of it, but it was very good. I would recommend it, but I'd probably recommend this cocktail more as like December, closer to Christmas.
I kind of agree. The video I got it from, and you can check the show notes below and get some other coffee liqueur recipes in that video. He was like, "Oh, it's fall, so now I get to do some like coffee cocktails," and I was like, "This one seems very wintry." Maybe it's just like the creamy cocktails are a little bit more hearty.
Yeah, I randled it, but it was tasty. Like I said, it just felt very wintry. It felt Christmassy.
God, the day I watched this movie not sober, I'm gonna have to double my rating.
Can you give it 20 out of 10?
Next 420, we'll just all be high and watch Hubie Halloween.
You guys think we're watching the next Harold and Kumar, but turns out somebody gave Zach control of the Netflix party.
Please, God, no.
Check the show notes below. Make yourself a Cafe Con Leche flip. And let us know what you think. Send us a picture at Instagram, at Cocktails and Classics Pod. And use the Casker and Drizzly links. Buy yourself some coffee liqueur, some blackstrap rum. And you can watch Hubie Halloween on Netflix because why not?
One more thing to add about this drink. I always feel really weird shaking like raw egg into a cocktail. No matter what it is, like literally pouring it into the glass, I'm like, wow, this looks really good. And then I went to drink it and I felt just disgusting knowing that there's raw egg yolk all mixed through it. It's just kind of a weird feeling. I don't know what it is. I don't like it. I might have to look into what substitutes there are that aren't raw egg.
Zach last year said that this was the greatest movie of 2020. I volleyed that with it's the only movie of 2020, and Zach said that it outperformed Tenet to be the greatest movie.
That's a fact.
Do you stand by that statement, Zach?
It's not an opinion. That's a straight fact. Is it better than Tenet? Yeah, it is, but it also outperformed it. Straight fact.
I don't know about that. Once Tenet got on HBO, it's probably...
I heard Christopher Nolan may never make another movie because Tenet was so bad and he got outdone by Hubie Halloween.
Christopher Nolan's already making another movie, and he's literally already started casting it.
I think we got to fact check that one. What I do know for sure is that Hubie Halloween outperformed Tenet.
That's what I've heard. I have heard that.
I've heard it from a pretty reputable podcast. May or may not be this one.
Definitely. I was gonna say. Hopefully, it's not this one because.
Yeah, if you think we're reputable,
if our
just don't listen to our trivia section. All right.
We only use true facts.
I said last year we shit on Rob Schneider for a solid 8 minutes.
Well, he's not a good guy. He's a bad guy, and he's trying to reinvent himself. He's got this daddy-daughter road trip movie coming out, but I'm never going to see it, and nobody else should see it because he's just a bad human being.
Rob Schneider is a road trip.
So, hold on now. So, Rob Schneider has a daddy-daughter road trip movie. So, it's like that one with Raven-Symoné?
Kind of, but Rob Schneider is the dad, and the daughter's not Raven-Symoné.
Okay.
Is the daughter his actual daughter?
I don't think so. No.
It's probably somebody who's like super hot, and then there's going to be awkward sexual tension the whole movie.
With him and his daughter. Yeah, they're basing it on the Trumps.
Well, probably.
And then his, weird friend David Spade or
Zing! Coming after you, conservatives. It's Halloween. Watch out.
It's going to be like in Grown Ups. It's going to have the same jokes where it's going to be like, she came out of half of him? Whoa!
As far as I know, The Sandman has no connection to this movie. Thank God.
Damn. Well,
you can tell,
got to give
Rob Schneider
a job.
So wait a minute. If Adam Sandler's not involved, how is this movie getting made?
See,
what
that's
production
why
company
you've never
decided
heard of it.
to do this?
See, Rob Schneider's like that friend you grow up with that's like never got put on the right path.
You walk through the trail all the time together, and then he just constantly pees.
Well,
yeah,
I'll tell you who's giving Rob Schneider a job. Rob Schneider. He's directing it as well.
Rob Schneider is a movie producer.
A spring break trip vacation with series of misfortune adventures is saved when the duo meet a couple of famous travel bloggers. Written by his wife.
What a way to just squeeze all the money out of a production. Just rope your family into as many roles as they can in the production of the movie.
Yeah, who does that? Only Rob Schneider, not Adam Sandler. Doesn't do that with his family.
One of the hilarious parts of Hubie Halloween is that Violet Valentine has this entire backstory where she adopts kids who happen to look exactly like Adam Sandler. Just so that Adam Sandler's kids can be in the movie. It is utterly hilarious.
Yeah, that's how I would describe it. Utterly hilarious.
You think at this point, like, Adam is just like, well, we have to do a movie for Netflix. We got like 6 of them in this fucking deal. Let's just write something that like gets all of our friends in here. Like, Netflix is already going to give us $7 million or whatever. We can give Rob Schneider like $10 and he can be in the movie for like 10 seconds and he'll have his relative moment for whatever existence that Rob Schneider has. But then, you get all your friends, your family, your Disney child stars, and you just have a little romp.
Yeah, for sure.
Halloween in Salem.
People love making movies with the Sandman for that reason. You show up, you just have fun on set, and Netflix pays you a lot of money. It's a good gig. I would do it. If you wanted to have me on a movie, I'd have you on the podcast, Sandman.
Oh, that's a pretty fair trade. I would also be game for that.
We had Bill Simmons on the pod. That went pretty well.
Whoa!
Wow!
Yeah, we need to have him back. What's another Bill Simmons favorite? We could always bring him back.
Boogie Nights. Do Boogie Nights Part 2. It's his favorite movie.
Let's get him on. Let's get him on for a basketball movie. Let's get him on for like White Men Can't Jump.
Ooh, speaking of the Sandman and basketball movies, he's got a basketball movie coming out too called Hustle. LeBron James is the producer.
Is it like serious or is it a comedy?
Yeah, it's one of his serious roles. Robert Duvall's in it too. But Sandman plays like a former basketball scout. And it's about his struggles post being a scout, trying to be connected to the game.
It sounds like it's going to be one of those movies.
Ben Affleck already made that movie like a year or two ago.
No.
It performed poorly. Let me guess, Adam Sandler ends up coaching a bunch of high schoolers.
Not that I know of.
Oh, so it won't be like every other basketball movie. Well,
Yeah,
that'll be nice.
He'll star as a former basketball scout who, after being unjustly fired, discovers a talented player abroad and decides to bring him to the U.S. to prove that they both have what it takes to make it in the NBA.
I do think I've seen the trailer or something for this. I've seen something about that.
Adam Sandler, Queen Latifah, Robert Duvall, Ben Foster. Ben, I have you here quoted as saying, "This movie it's a real reset. We've done some of the best IMDb classics and best rated movies that are 8s and 9s, and then we're gonna do Hubie Halloween, which is it's a real palate cleanser for us, and we have to watch the bad to understand and appreciate the good movies that we've done."
I remember the phrase palate cleanser.
I stand by it. I stand by it.
Last time we did this, we just came off of The Shining, right?
Probably.
Around there,
it was something.
yeah.
Or
It
no,
was-
The
I
Shining
mean-
was like super early. No,
No,
we did like
we had done. I mean, it was again through Halloween, so we had done. We were just coming off like I think we literally
The
did
Thing.
Halloween,
Yeah.
The Thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I did. We maybe were, or maybe
Alien.
it was after that we did like Citizen Kane.
Yeah, we did.
I think
Citizen
we had
Kane
done. Yeah,
just before this or after.
yeah. We had done. I mean, just like the IMDb top, like not even top 250. We were hitting like IMDb top 25s, and I stand by it. There's a interesting thing where I think it was Bert Kreischer talking to a famous chef. I think it was Roy Choi, who said that he literally went vegan for like 6 months just so he could start reincorporating how to cook meat so he could get an appreciation for it. And like, you know what? Sometimes that makes sense. You know, you get so used to just this fine, superior taste that sometimes you need to refresh it, get yourself a little bit of a gutter palate, and bring yourself down a peg. And then you can really appreciate what good cinema is.
Really get tired of the sky falls and the there will be bloods of the world, and you just gotta go lap up some Hubie Halloween or some Birdemic every once in a while. And
Yeah, look, I'm not saying exclusively watch those movies. I'm saying, you know, if you've been watching good movies for a while, every week for a podcast, and people are like, wow, they gave this one an 8. Wow, they gave this one a 9. I wonder if they're ever going to give something lower than that. Then you watch Hubie Halloween, and you're like, yeah, wait, I remember now why I'm giving these other movies 8s and 9s.
It's kind of harsh,
going in,
guys.
Sorry, we don't want to offend Zach too much.
I know this will be Zach's last episode if I keep
Just
ragging
let it be
on-
known, you
on
guys
this
laughed throughout that entire movie. Constantly.
Look, I'm not going to say... I'll be honest. I think, again, this is a movie, much like I feel like there's been several movies that we've done, that you have to watch together to appreciate. Or to, like, watching this movie by yourself or with someone who won't laugh at the stupid things you laugh at. It takes away the enjoyment of it. But when you see just the dumb shit like a crutch being thrown at a guy, and your friends are
A cinder block.
just the most obnoxious
Flaming
shit.
arrow. And then there's just two bears throwing shit at him after. Well, that's rough to hear.
So,
Ben.
yeah, when you're watching it with people, I feel like you kind of put yourself in that space that it's okay to laugh at. You know what? I'll go out on a limb and say it here. It's going to get me canceled. Animal House would have gotten rated higher if we watched it all together. Because I guarantee you it would have felt more like okay to laugh at things versus being like, oh shit, I can't laugh at that.
So if we would have watched it in our frat house, it would have been a 10 out of 10.
I'm not saying frat house 10 out of 10. I'm saying we wouldn't have sat there and been like, oh, this movie's a 0 out of 10.
No
None
one
of it
rated
was
it a 0.
okay.
You don't have to be so offended, Ben. I think the lowest one was like a 3 or a 4.
No, I think that movie got like a 2. It was one of our lowest rated for a long time.
No.
Zach, crunch the numbers.
I gave it the lowest rating at a 4. It got a 7, a 6, a 5, and a
that's-
4.
Wow. I did not think it did even that well.
Going back to your
Exactly.
previous
Ben's
point,
still
like
say-
been so offended.
I still say it would have done better if we'd watched it
I was a
together.
little upset at your jab about people who watch Hubie Halloween by themselves. Speaking as an unbiased third
6 of
party
my
in this
9.
scenario. I don't know. I have more fun watching movies with people. But I laugh my ass off every time I watch Hubie Halloween. And there's usually nobody else in the room.
I think it's one of those things where you just have to like turn it all off and just watch it. Cuz I will say I watched The Watch not too long ago. And that movie, I was like, this movie fucking sucks. But like there was parts that had me like laughing and chuckling and a couple chortles. This one definitely had me like, I said it last time, I had a big shitty grin on my face the whole time because it's just so stupid. And like the gags that happen, some of the shit that like goes on, you're just like, really? Come on, really?
Yeah.
Like the bears throwing shit. That's my boner. The girl and Shaq, like Lady and Tramp and the sandwich. It's like, what does this have to do with anything?
I know.
But it's so funny.
One of the things I think I still laughed at the hardest was when he first walks in his house and that skeleton scares him.
He hits him with a pumpkin.
He just fucking knocks the head off of it.
Oh my god, it's so funny. His mom is like...
Or when he throws the yearbook and breaks the window. Did you have an accident? No, I didn't have an accident.
You did it on purpose?
I'm gonna clean it up.
Oh my god, when he smacks the skeleton and he's like, no mom, I was just practicing my yelling. Oh my god, it's so funny. Does this movie hit different if you think about it as a kid's movie with adult humor?
It kind of feels that way. Honestly, I was like, I feel like they set out and they were like, we're gonna make like a Christmas movie for Halloween because I feel like it has that like, oh, he's a loser, like, blah, look at him. But then like somebody's doing something like that goes a bit too far, and you have to like reel them back in, and then at the end it's all feel good and everyone's happy. And yeah, it definitely feels like they went and set out and they were like, we're gonna basically make a feel good Christmas movie, but we're gonna do it for the spooky holiday instead.
I was thinking Disney, but I like the Christmas analogy more because the structure of the movie all the way down to like Hubie's mom giving you the setup. You know, you're gonna have to find your inner bravery, Hubie. This is the year you have to find it. And then it's hijinks and it resolves itself at the end. Like, you know what you're gonna get. If you look at the movie from that perspective and it has the level of adult humor in it, I think you get a better appreciation for what the movie is.
I feel like I could see that if some of the humor weren't so completely in your face adult, like Rob Schneider's character pissing everywhere.
Well, that's just funny. Kids think peeing
a lot
is
of fun piss stuff.
Or the massive piles of shit in the basement on newspapers.
Poop is funny, Ben. Poop is funny. Sit there with a straight face and tell me poop's not funny.
I'm not going to do that, but I'm also not going to tell you that it's not kids movie I'm not going to tell you that it's kids movie appropriate.
If you show a picture
I'm asexual,
of a pile
but
of
that
poop,
girl's making me hella horny.
so that one flies over their heads. They don't know what that means.
Oh, okay. Sucking fingers.
Yeah, they don't get that.
You know?
They don't get that. Kids suck on their fingers. They don't get it.
What age are you thinking this
Boner.
kids movie is for?
This is aimed at 16-year-old Zach.
Like before 12.
Before 12, you know, all those ages before 12, kids are they're still sucking their fingers. That's normal.
But no, if you take any kid before the age of 12 and show them a picture of a pile of poop on a newspaper, it's going to take them 10 seconds until they're laughing their ass off.
I mean, it's PG-13, so, like...
There's adult humor. I'm just saying, go back and watch some of the movies we grew up with as kids, and there is some blatant adult humor. Worse than this.
We literally talked about where Hocus...
Like the penis on the Aladdin poster.
We literally talked about how Hocus Pocus kept, virgin shaming the main character.
Exactly.
Which this movie brought that back. We got some Hubie virgin shaming.
But just enough. It wasn't too much. It wasn't every 10 minutes.
There's still hope.
True.
He still has hope.
He's got sex hope. He's got good hair and sex hope.
I do see Adam Sandler has Murder Mystery 2 on his upcoming pre-production.
Ah.
Yeah, I think that's his last Netflix deal in this contract.
That's what we needed was Murder Mystery 2. Wow, Jennifer Aniston's returning.
I think of the Netflix movies that he did, that one was probably the one I would probably rewatch the most.
You're talking about Hubie Halloween, right?
No.
Because that's the one you will be
Well,
rewatching.
yes, but like, I mean, if we're talking the whatever movie where
How long does the
David
average human
Spade,
live?
where David Spade plays just a weird
Depends on the country.
deadbeat dad.
Average U.S. male life expectancy.
Oh God,
I'm going 83.
I don't want to know.
Lock me in for 83.
I don't want to know when I'm gonna die.
Well,
On
it dropped in
average.
half in 2020 because of COVID.
It dropped in half?
Sorry, dropped by a full year in the first half of 2020. I did not read the headline. Sorry.
Oh my god. I mean, that's still pretty fucking rough, but when you said it dropped by half, I'm like, oh my god, World War II wasn't that bad.
All right,
Then
what did
again,
you say,
more
Zach?
Americans have died from COVID. I said 83.
Ben?
Ben said, don't tell me, I don't know when I'm going to die. Ben's going to be gone long before this, though. He doesn't know it yet.
Are you trying to tell me something I should be aware of?
I'm just saying, watch your rating today, bud.
Oh shit! It's good
I'm
thing I
behind
locked my
you.
doors.
Look, it's Hubie's mom right behind you.
So men dropped 1.2 years from 2019 to 75.1.
Whoa.
So, do a little quick maths here. So, I'm 27 now. I only have to watch Hubie Halloween 48 more times. That's kind of a positive for me. Like, if I just go off...
That doesn't sound terrible.
It doesn't, It's only once a year. And it's only 48 times.
And we're assuming that Netflix will still exist and that Hubie Halloween will still be on there in 48 years.
Yeah, we'll still have a podcast. Like, people still will have to listen to us just ramble about bullshit the whole
Well,
time.
I mean, yeah, people, the 8 that do.
Sonny, I gotta record my podcast. All right, Grandpa, let's get you to bed.
No, I need my computer and my microphone. Grandpa, no one
Just
uses...
wheels you in front of a microphone, but it's unplugged, so you're just talking.
It's got a Mad Catz light on it. You press the turbo.
I really liked the mise-en-scène on this one. Grandpa, you watched paint dry for 6 hours. It was great.
It's going to be an avant-garde film. You shut your mouth, man.
Grandpa,
art.
do you want to watch Hubie Halloween again? Oh boy, no. But
I missed that Adam Sandler.
But I made a promise, and I don't want to lose out on the tontine. Lord, although, Dylan, I have bad news. 48 years from now, do you not think modern medicine will have advanced? That we'll be living longer lives?
I mean, I guess if climate change accelerates even more, we won't even have to worry about 48 years. It could be shorter.
That's true.
We'd
The
be like
make a good
10.
point.
The GOP hates this podcast so much.
But yeah, I'm sure the GOP probably absolutely hates this podcast.
We totally called that Colin Powell thing, though.
Did we?
Yeah, we predicted that.
We're like the Simpsons.
Tucker Carlson just fucking rants about us every night at 8 p.m.
God, I wish would give us listeners. We might get ads.
We're just gonna get a bunch of Twitter bots in our review section.
Hey, you know what? Maybe it makes us controversial. People listen. Maybe people on the other side are like, hey, we should support these guys and buy from their Casker and Drizzly links. You can find in the show notes below.
And Surfside Sips.
Maybe I'll
Have you
sign
heard
up
of
for
Anchor?
that. Maybe I'll sign up for that free Audible trial and listen to the book about the boy under the stairs.
Oh, here we go. Here's a Looper article ranking every Adam Sandler film so far.
Oh, God. Are they starting at 10?
Well, let me
There's
see
got
what
to be
they're...
more than 10, right?
So these are just the ones on Netflix. That's not what I want. I want
Oh.
I want the ones that he made for Netflix, not. Okay, here we go. So this is from GameRamp. All of Adam Sandler's Netflix originals ranked. All right, what do you think is 7 out of 7 on their list?
What was that stupid Western one he made?
The Ridiculous Six?
Yeah, that's my guess.
That is 7 out of 7.
You know what we
Number
call
6.
that movie? A Taylor Lautner movie. That's how you know it's 7 out of 7 in the Sandler verse.
Shark Boy really brought it down.
It's because he wasn't a Disney star. They took him from Twilight. He should have gotten a Disney actor. It's the way the formula works. You don't deviate from the Sandler formula.
It's also got Rob Schneider as a fucking, like, bandito guy with, like, a fucking... I'm sure he does, like, a terrible, like, Hispanic accent. I'm sure it's...
A very offensive accent that he's been doing his whole career. Probably, yeah.
6 is The Do-Over.
That's what I was going to guess, The Do-Over. That one was pretty bad.
Which
Number 5 is Murder Mystery.
Wow, really?
I mean, we know what number 1 is.
Number 4 is Sandy Wexler.
Okay.
Number 3 is The Week Of.
Oh, that's the one with Chris Rock. Chris Rock, right?
Right.
That one was good.
Adam Sandler about the wedding. Okay. That one sounded not like a bad movie.
That one's got some touching moments.
Yeah, that sounded like one that would have actually probably been okay.
Top 3 on Netflix.
Number 2
is Hubie Halloween.
Oh, come on.
Oh, man.
Number 1 is The Meyerowitz Stories. Which I don't know if that counts, though. Like, is that considered part of his deal?
Yeah, we got to look into that. I don't know if that was under his contract.
Because it's Noah Baumbach's film.
Did Happy Madison make it?
But if in this case, if that one is disqualified, then yes, Zach, Hubie Halloween would be the number 1.
Now I just got to find a way to get the Meyerowitz Stories disqualified. All right, give me a second.
This one's the review says anybody who goes into Hubie Halloween expecting a well-crafted comedy with a substantial plot is probably going to walk away disappointed. Those who take the movie for what it is, a collection of cheap gags wrapped around a generic spooky plot, should be fairly well satisfied with this Halloween-themed flick. Hubie Dubois is a little reminiscent of some Sandler's early characters like Bobby Boucher and Happy Gilmore, and it's perhaps this air of helplessness that makes him so relatable. While far from the actor's finest material, the humor is at least good-natured this time out and is unlikely to offend even the most sensitive of viewers.
He knows his audience. Fucking
Teens.
softies nowadays.
Kids.
Is there a Happy Gilmore reference in this movie?
Outside of Julie Bowen playing the love interest?
Yeah, outside of that.
Happy Gilmore? Yeah, like Dylan just said.
Is it
Hallel is the...
Oh, shit. Yeah, the big one at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Did somebody sleepy in their pee-pee?
Dude, I didn't see it until like the 3rd or 4th watch when Hal L pulls back the sheet and there's dummy made out of Jello.
And there's a hot dog dick and 2 hot dog testicles.
Yes, yeah. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Oh, Lord. Child humor.
Yeah, it'll go right over the kids' heads.
Well, it's so fast, they probably didn't see it.
Also, real quick, why were in an asylum where they don't want people leaving, were the windows just that easy to fucking open?
Well, they're not an asylum.
Well, it's not an asylum. It's
hospital,
a werewolf.
Sorry, you're right.
No, it's a werewolf rehabilitation center.
Yeah. Of course. How could I be so foolish?
You know we love saving the turts. You know Cam hates fucking paper straws.
Paper straws song. I will say that paper straw technology has improved since I last shat on paper straws. I have used a couple since I've been able to go out more recently due to being vaccinated. And
That's what they were doing the whole time while we were inside. They were just inventing better paper straws.
I have seen also not paper straws, but it seems like they're compostable plastic straws or something. Like
You're talking about the ones that are made out of
like.
like agave or whatever.
I have no idea what the composition of these straws are. I'm just, but they are different.
I'm not a straw expert.
But you're the expert, Dylan.
But I do know a good glass straw when I see one, you know?
Yes. I will say for being at home and where maybe you like straws in your fruity margaritas or you like straws to mix with your, old fashions or whatever, having these straws around the home is really nice. No, not constantly like throwing things away, or you don't have to keep buying straws all the time. Like you just buy a couple and then you're good.
And if you want cocktail picks or muddlers, they have that too. There's many colors. He's getting into like designs. So like the pride flag, he puts it on like the side of the straw. He's got hearts. He's got critters. It's like you get a piece of art along with a straw. Little multi-use.
Oh yeah, he has critter straws, which see a dolphin, a salamander. That salamander looks intricate. That is impressive.
Grab some glass straws from Surfside Sips. Use promo code cocktails and classics spelled out for 20% off. We get a little kickback from that. And you get to save some money on some glass straws, and they should last you a long time. Dishwasher safe. They're pretty sturdy. Just don't drop them on the floor like me, like a big idiot. You have to buy more. Zach watches these movies, and sometimes 9 times apparently comes up with questions to quiz us. So Zach, what trivia do you got for us on Hubie Dubois' Halloween?
Well, we were just talking about the famous werewolf rehabilitation facility, but I gotta know, what was the name of the mental hospital that Hal L works at? Is it A, the Westford State Mental Hospital, B, the Washington County Mental Hospital, or C, the Massachusetts State Mental Hospital?
Oh, I don't think it's Massachusetts. I'm almost like 100% on that one. So I think it's, what was it, Westerfield?
Westford State, Washington County, or Massachusetts State?
You can just ignore C. You don't have to say that one anymore. I've already said I'm not gonna say that one. So
I'm giving the correct option to Ben, or an option to Ben.
Okay.
Well, I know that's not the correct option because Dylan just told me he's 100% that it's not it.
They're not all like named like whatever state though. I would think, right? I don't know. I just remember like there is something
state-run mental hospitals.
Yeah, because like I'm thinking Westford, but then if it's like Westford State, that doesn't really make sense if they're in like Salem, Massachusetts. But I'll go A. I'll go Westford.
Yeah, my first gut reaction was that it was Westford State Mental Hospital, because I'm pretty sure that's when he calls them on I don't remember actual character's name, so I'm just gonna have to go by actor. Bear with me. When Kevin James's character gets
Officer
the call,
Officer Downey, you know his name.
I couldn't have told you his name was.
Yeah, I don't
Downey.
know his last name.
In the longest, you could have given me 30 minutes, and I would not have come up with Downey as the last name. When he gets the call, I could swear it's something about Westford.
Yeah, the opening shot is you see at the top of the gate says Westford State Mental Hospital. I thought I would get you. Washington County is the county that Salem is in. I thought I was going to get you guys on that. Maybe you guys know more about Hubie Halloween than you lead on.
Oh, I've watched it a couple times in preparation for this episode. So.
I have two, once last year and once this year.
Well, speaking of Officer Steve Downey, how many flashbacks do we see of Hubie appearing in Officer Steve's office?
Oh, Lord.
Janet at the library has not been acting like herself. I guess I need to give you the options, don't I? It's A5, B6, or C7.
Fuck. The answer in my head is
Was
one of
that
the
not
options
helpful?
you gave, but it's not. It's too close. They're all too close.
Were you
know
hoping
what?
for...
Screw it. Gut reaction. Gut reaction. My thought in my head, I was thinking 6. You said 6, so I'm going to go with B.
Now, do you want to help Dylan? Are you positive it's not one of the other two?
No.
I'm with Ben a bit there. 6 does feel right. But I will differentiate, and I'm putting my chips on 7.
That's a smart bet. It is 7. We get 7 flashbacks of Hubie barging into Steve's office. Each one better than the previous.
Wow. It could have been any number because like they're so quick.
Well, my thing is, I thought 6, and then I'm like, if Zach gives me like 4, 6, and 8, I'm golden. And then, of course, he had to give me fucking 6 as the middle option with 1 lower and 1 higher. And nope. Or if he would have given me like 3, 7, and 10, or 7, 9, and 11, I'd have been like, okay, perfect. This is it. But fucking 3 consecutive where my answer was the middle, nope. I had no shot.
I like how Ben's like, if he gives me 3, 7, and 10. This is.
I'm trying to think of numbers that are like a couple apart.
Yeah, you wanted them spaced out a little bit. You didn't want to have to be as
Yeah.
precise in showing off your Hubie Halloween knowledge that we all know you have.
Ben's just throwing it, so he's
caught me.
not actually
I
going to
think
win.
the real issue here is that I picked the wrong number, and that was a real boner on my part.
Big boner. Question number 3. So we knew Ben threw number 2, so we could get this one. Name the marketplace that Hubie works at. Is it A, Carl's, B, Casey's, or C, Crosby's?
Oh, fuck. He says it.
He says
Doesn't
it
he?
once, and it's seen
In the-
once.
Oh, when he says it to that lady, thanks for coming to.
Yep. And you can see it on the sign as we come into the store.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was the scene when he's talking to Kevin James and is like, they're having the pizza sale, and that sounds like a riot condition to me.
Mr. O'Doyle bought a suspiciously large amount of toilet paper and eggs. Hubie, there's nothing illegal about buying toilet paper and eggs. Oh, yeah, that goes without saying.
I don't know why, but Crosby's is my gut reaction.
I'm going to say Carl's. Send this bad boy into a 2-2 tiebreaker.
Or we send you home with a 3-1 loss. Dylan sweeps the
Yes.
Hubie Halloween trivia.
Yeah, I mean, no.
Wow, Dylan. Way to go, bud.
I don't know if you guys would have liked the tiebreaker. It was going to be deli meat prices.
Oh,
Okay, so I feel good about this though because going in, I remembered nothing about this movie. So I knew like we kind of talked about this at one of the episodes not too long ago. That I was like I remember like Steve Buscemi as a kind of a werewolf, and the stupid thermos, and that is like pretty.
I remember
much-
the big reveal that Rob Schneider was the escaped mental patient. And who the killer was. Which, by the way, I also thought that the disappearances in that started happening way earlier than they do in this movie.
Yeah, they're kind of all at the end.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was sitting there and I'm like, when the fuck does the scary, like, people disappearing stuff start happening? Because it's been a long time and nothing has gotten to that point. I thought that was supposed to be the whole plot of the movie, and it's just like, nope, nothing's happened with it yet.
Yeah, I was like, at one point I checked the clock. I was like, there's still like an hour of this movie.
I know.
And there's a good 15 minutes of credits / bloopers too.
It's just so all over the place. Like the actual like plot of like people disappearing and shit, like Ben said, doesn't show up till like much later. But there's so much of the movie I feel like where there's just you're just like, what is happening? Like, what is going on in this movie? Like the whole setup of him like going and talking to the kids, like the school age children. You're just like, what does this have to do with anything?
He's preparing them for Halloween night. He's the official volunteer Halloween safety monitor.
It was an excuse to get them into a scene where Adam Sandler would get pelted by stuff that would be funny.
And a dodgeball.
And introduce the kid.
Yeah, and introduce the other kid.
It's that time. We can talk about the ratings. I want Zach to go first.
It's gonna be good. And I gotta tell you, this was the closest I ever came to giving a half rating. As in a half between two numbers, not like a 0.5. But I decided I'm gonna give this movie a 6. That's double what I gave it last time. I laugh way too much when I watch this movie to give it anything less than a 6. I feel like over my 9 times watching it, I've grown to assume that this movie is like a kid's movie with great adult humor. I mean, there's scares where, like, Violet is set up as the bad person, Mr. Lambert is set up as the bad person, that feel like intense for a kid's type of movie, but nothing bad actually happens. Like, Mr. Lambert's just a crazy guy, and Violet's not actually a bad person. It's got plenty of good feels to it. And then there's the Sandman verse element that is just fantastic. I mean, imagine you have this prolific movie career, comedies that are so well known that you can literally just tell Netflix, I'm going to make a movie that has a reference to this every 15 minutes and you're going to love it. And it comes out great. 6 out of 10. I almost gave it a 7. We'll save the 7 for next year.
So you gave it a 3 before?
Yep. Now, do you guys want me to tell you your ratings now or after?
I think after. I don't want to be swayed,
yeah.
I don't think.
Okay.
So I think I rated it lower last year, but I'm going to go... I think I will go with a 5. I don't know. It's, like Zach said, I enjoy it too much to, like, hate it. I can tell it is bad. It is objectively bad, but subjectively, the kid in me wants to laugh at all this stupid shit. Like bears throwing literal shit at fucking...
And they're not even
Hubie.
trying to look realistic. Like, that's the lowest quality
they look
part of the
so
movie.
bad. It looks like a guy in a bear costume, and it's not a good one. Like, they went to Party City and bought that shit. They didn't go to props. They didn't get someone to come in and make the costumes. They're just like, hey, here's $30, go buy a bear costume.
The Harley Quinn outfits, like, even the little girl has like a Harley Quinn outfit on. All the stupid t-shirts that the mom wears, like that's probably honestly the funniest part of the movie to me, is just seeing what's the next shirt that she's gonna have on.
Happy Halloweener.
It ain't gonna lick itself. I think it's literally a 5. I think it is a great movie to throw into your Halloween rotation. And that's kind of why I feel like we did this, or like I was like, yeah, Hubie Halloween, that's the one that we should do every year. I feel like it's stupid. It's got a bunch of goofs and gaffes, but at the end of the day, what's an hour and 30 minutes of just some goofiness, you know? I'm no smarter, I'm no dumber for watching it, but by God, I had a fun time watching it.
Dylan, do you want your rating, or do you want me to give your rating to you and Ben at the same time? What do you guys want? How do you want this delivered to you?
I can go, and then we can discuss where we were at from last year. I gave this movie on this rewatch a 4. Yeah, it's something I can enjoy, but also it's something in my head I know I'm just watching is not good. But that's okay. It's okay for that. Like I just I don't know, there's something about Adam Sandler making that stupid face and screaming out of terror that just gets me. When
he's
just,
on the toilet?
every little thing. The toilet one when he throws the fucking soup. Why does he have soup on the toilet? I don't know. But damn it, it's funny.
I'm asexual, but that woman's making me hella horny.
The scene where he's looking through the yearbook and all of a sudden the Frankenstein like thing starts tapping on the glass, so he freaks out and throws the yearbook through the window and shatters it. Why is that funny? It shouldn't be, but by God, I tell you, it is.
That thermos is always there to save the day.
Like we said, the bears throwing stuff, or the scene as he's running through the woods, there's no one around, and yet a crutch and a flaming, like, spear gets shot into a tree, or the scene where he's riding around and a literal cinder block comes at him. Just, what the hell? Why? I don't know why, but it's just random, and it is funnier. Like I said, I think this is a movie I much enjoyed watching with people than just watching by myself. Yeah, but I still objectively can't give it anything higher. I still think it's just a 4. It's a movie you can turn on like and just kind of like veg out, or I feel like this is a movie you have to be in the mood to watch a dumb movie for.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta know what you're getting.
If you're going in to watch something and expecting like, oh man, this is gonna be like Sandler's take on a scary movie, and it's going to be like Jordan Peele's Get Out, but without the social commentary, and that's not what you should be expecting.
This movie's not great, but it has redeeming qualities. Like, if I was to sit and watch Food Fight every year for 48 years,
I don't think I'd make it past year 1 or 2.
Like, there was nothing redeeming about that. That movie was bad. I had a bad time watching it. And
I remember
we watched that one together too. Like,
I know we watched that together too, and it was one that was one where, like, instead of feeling like, hey, we can laugh at this because it's funny, it's one where we walked out of there and I felt like we went through one of those situations where, like, no, that person's hella close to me now because we went through war together.
Yeah,
we've had to see the shit, man. You don't know.
I remember having 3 beers before we were halfway through with that movie, and we had to pause it because I had to go get a glass of scotch, and I switched to liquor for the rest of the movie. That one was bad.
So at least, like, Hubie Halloween, I enjoyed my hour and 30 minutes that it took to watch it, you know.
All right. Zach, hit us with the secret sauce of last year's ratings.
It's kind of funny. So
Ben, I feel like Ben gave it a 4 last year.
No, actually, Ben was the most down on the whole thing.
2.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ben gave it a 2, and Dylan, you gave it a 3. So you guys each went up 2 full points here, and then I went up 3.
Ben
from
and
the
you
3
doubled.
To 6. Yeah.
Wow.
I think watching it together helped. Like I said, I think watching it with you guys was probably better than just like watching it by myself, or watching it and having my wife come out and look at me like I'm a giant moron for enjoying this movie.
Don't feel bad for liking Hubie Halloween. It's a great movie.
Just feel bad because you exist.
Thanks. You always know what to say to cheer me up.
Hey, did you guys know we haven't done a movie that starts with the letter L?
Wow. Should we do that next week?
La Waterboy?
Lolita?
L.A. Confidential?
Zach,
That was so stupid.
You don't want to do Lolita.
I've heard Lolita's creepy. I've heard there's like
A man who's interested in a young girl.
yeah, it reminds me of like weebs. Like weeb shit.
What? I feel like most of my time on this podcast is trying to unpack whatever it is that Zach just said.
You know, like grown men, like 50-year-old men who are really into cartoons where suggestively young women dress suggestively.
Where 50-year-old grown men animate boob jiggles.
In a 2D cartoon, yeah.
Because that's what we needed, was that ultra realistic boob shake. Thanks, Japan.
No. I can't wait to see how much of that gets cut.
None of it. That's the Instagram ad, baby.
This hour and 12 minutes. I hope none of that gets cut.
That's the Instagram ad. Can't watch Lolita because it's weeb shit.
Hope you enjoyed our foray back into the hellscape of Hubie Halloween. And check us out next week as we watch Prisoners, the 2015 Denis Villeneuve film. Check us out next year for some more Hubie Halloween. Coming at you every October until we die. So get ready for that. Maybe even after we die. I'm just gonna start watching Hubie Halloween, and I'll like just record me talking, and you guys have to record talking back to me, and I'll just have enough tapes to like go at least until like 100 years from now. I feel like none of us will be alive at that point.
See,
Like
I'm thinking
Prince.
we've got. You said we're about 80 episodes in.
Yeah.
You got to think like in the next year or two, there's got to be enough audio bits of my voice that realistically you guys could probably put a conversation together of me saying whatever the fuck you wanted to, right?
We did it with Bill Simmons, so.
Yeah, true. And I have a bunch of stuff in the cutting room floor, so we could always just like blackmail your estate for,
True.
you know,
Sweet.
millions.
Release
Dope.
the Anchor ad.
Yeah, because that's worth it.
Hit up the Drizzly Casker links, buy some Surfside Sips, and as always, watch responsibly.